everyone. We are going to continue learning about the early people who lived in Indiana. All right, we'll move this down a little. Native American ways of life. The Miami and the Potawatomi were the largest and most important Native American groups in the Indiana area during the late 1600s. The Miami group spread out over much of the land. The Potawatomi lived in the northern part of Indiana and along Lake Michigan. The Shawnee settled in the central and southern eastern parts of Indiana. The Lenape, who had originally lived along the northeast coast of the Atlantic Ocean, settled near the White River. A group called the Kickapoo settled in what would become western Indiana. They made their home along the Wabash River, where the land was good for farming. All right, let's look at our map. So Indianapolis is about here, and we can see the White River. All right. Native American groups who lived in the Indiana area had many things in common. They were farmers and hunters. They shared a language called Algonquin or Algonquian. Many lived in villages during the summer and camps in the winter. They respected the land and its resources and only used what they needed. There were also some differences in how each group lived. The chart below shows what these Native American groups shared and some ways in which they were different. All right, so let me zoom in on this chart. All right, so first we have the Miami. They lived in round shelters called wigwams, built from trees and covered with bark or mats. Each Miami village had a council with an elected chief. During times of war, a war chief was elected. Potawatomi. They lived in wigwams or large rectangular homes with bark covering. They had independent villages. No single leader spoke for the group. One war chief was elected at times of war. Lenape, I'm not sure. They lived in long houses built from trees and bark. They lived in large family groups. Each longhouse had a shashmi, or chief, who was also a member of the village council. This council led the community. The oldest woman of the family chose or dismissed the sachem, Shawnee. All right, I'm going to start over with the Shawnee. They lived in wigwams. The Shawnee title of chief was usually passed down from father to son, but special Shawnee war chiefs were chosen for their bravery and war skills. Kickapoo. They were fierce warriors who fought hard to keep their culture from being changed by the Europeans. They were the first Native Americans in the area to hunt with horses. All right, and then on Canvas, you're going to answer this question. Explain ways the Native American groups who lived in Indiana were alike and how they were different, right? And so you can use this chart because here's all the groups that lived in Indiana. So make sure you use this chart. And because I'm giving you a picture of this chart, you should not misspell any of these Native American group names since they're right here for you.